Lakers Nation, the landscape of our franchise has shifted in ways that seemed unimaginable just months ago. And what I'm about to break down will change how you view this team's trajectory for the next decade. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, your premier destination for everything Los Angeles Lakers, where I bring you exclusive updates, insider perspectives, and comprehensive analysis on our beloved purple and gold every single day. Today, I'm diving into a seismic shift that's happening right before our eyes, a transformation that's redefining the identity of this storied franchise, and a situation that has analysts, fans, and league insiders questioning what the future holds for one of the greatest players to ever wear a Lakers uniform. This isn't just another roster update or injury report. This is about the changing of the guard, about how success sometimes forces difficult decisions, and about why the organization might be heading in a direction that will shock casual fans but makes perfect strategic sense when you understand the full picture. Stay with me through every detail because by the end of this video, you're going to have a complete understanding of where we are as a franchise, where we're headed, and why these next few months could define Lakers basketball for the next generation. Let me start by taking you back to where this all began, because understanding the journey is crucial to appreciating the magnitude of what's happening right now. The Los Angeles Lakers have always been about star power, about having transcendent talents who can carry the franchise to championships and cement legacies that last forever. We've had Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and in recent years, LeBron James has been that cornerstone, that player around whom everything revolves. When LeBron came to Los Angeles, it signaled a new era, a commitment to winning now, and a belief that his presence alone would attract other elite talents who wanted to compete for championships in the league's most glamorous market. And, for a while, that's exactly what happened. We won a championship in the bubble, we've been competitive most seasons, and LeBron has continued to defy father time by performing at an elite level well into his 40s. But the NBA is a business, and it's also a league where change is the only constant. Teams that succeed are the ones that can identify when it's time to transition, when it's time to build for the future while still competing in the present, and when it's time to make difficult decisions that prioritize long-term success over short-term sentiment. This season has been unlike any other in recent Lakers history, and I need you to understand why that matters. We're currently sitting at 15 wins and 4 losses after our victory over the New Orleans Pelicans, which puts us among the elite teams in the Western Conference and positions us as legitimate championship contenders. But here's what's fascinating and what's driving all the conversation right now. We've achieved this success in a way that nobody predicted, with a roster construction that has evolved dramatically, and with a hierarchy that looks completely different than it did at the start of last season. The most telling aspect of our success this year has been how we've performed when certain players have been absent from the lineup. Early in the season, there were games where our veteran superstar sat out, and instead of struggling or losing momentum, the team actually thrived. We played with pace, we moved the ball with purpose, we got contributions from unexpected sources, and we looked like a cohesive unit that wasn't dependent on any single player to function effectively. That's both encouraging from a depth perspective and revealing about the current state of our roster dynamics. Now, before I get into the specifics of what's happening, I want to talk about the blockbuster move that changed everything for this franchise. Back in February, the Lakers made a trade that sent shockwaves through the entire NBA, a move that nobody saw coming and that polarized analysts and fans alike. We're talking about a deal that involved 2 legitimate superstars, 2 players who are among the best in the world at their positions, and 2 franchises betting their futures on different timelines and different visions of success. The Los Angeles Lakers traded Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Luka Doncic. Let that sink in for a moment because it's still hard to believe even months later. Anthony Davis, our dominant big man who was supposed to be the long-term cornerstone alongside our veteran star, was sent to Dallas. In return, we received Luka Doncic, the 26-year-old Slovenian sensation who's widely regarded as one of the 5 best players in basketball and a legitimate MVP candidate every single season. The reaction to this trade was immediate and intense. Some fans were devastated to lose Anthony Davis, who had been instrumental in our championship run and who represented the future of Lakers basketball. Others were ecstatic about acquiring Luka Doncic, recognizing that we were getting a generational talent who's still in the early prime of his career and who could lead this franchise for the next decade. The debate raged across social media, sports talk shows, and every Lakers forum you can imagine. But now, months later, with nearly 20 games of the season in the books, we can start to evaluate this trade based on results rather than speculation, and the results have been spectacular. Luka Doncic has been everything we hoped for and more. He's averaging elite numbers across the board. He's orchestrating our offense with the kind of vision and creativity that makes everyone around him better. He's taking over games in the fourth quarter with that signature step-back three-pointer and those crafty drives to the basket. And he's embraced being a Laker in ways that have endeared him to our fan base. When you watch Luka play, you see someone who's not just talented, but who has that killer instinct, that competitive fire, that refusal to lose that defines championship-caliber superstars. But Luka hasn't been the only revelation this season. We've also witnessed the emergence of Austin Reeves as one of the most surprising breakout stars of the entire NBA. Reeves, who came into the league as an undrafted free agent and has worked his way up through sheer determination and skill development, is having a career year that has people around the league taking notice. His scoring has increased dramatically, his playmaking has become more sophisticated, his defense has improved to the point where he can guard multiple positions, and his chemistry with Luka Doncic has been absolutely electric. The Doncic-Reeves duo has become the focal point of our offense, and it's been beautiful to watch. They run pick and rolls that defenses can't stop. They find each other for open shots in transition. They take turns creating when the other is being face-guarded, and they play with a joy and competitiveness that's infectious to everyone else on the roster. This is the kind of dynamic partnership that can carry a team deep into the playoffs and compete for championships, and we're fortunate to have both of them wearing purple and gold. Now here's where the situation gets complicated, and this is what I really need to discuss with you because it's the elephant in the room that everyone's been tiptoeing around. With Luka Doncic establishing himself as the unquestioned face of the franchise and Austin Reeves emerging as his perfect complementary star, where does that leave LeBron James? For the first time in his 2-decade-long career, LeBron is not the main man of the franchise he's part of. That's a significant statement that requires us to really examine what it means for him, for the team, and for the future of Lakers basketball. LeBron James is 41 years old, which is absolutely ancient by NBA standards, yet he's still performing at a level that would make most players half his age jealous. Even dealing with sciatica issues that have bothered his left leg throughout the season, LeBron has shown he can still contribute meaningfully when he's on the court. He can still score above 20 points per game. He can still facilitate and make plays for others. He can still provide veteran leadership and playoff experience that's invaluable in high-pressure situations. The question isn't whether LeBron can still play. The question is whether his role on this team aligns with where the organization wants to go moving forward. Stephen A. Smith, one of the most prominent voices in basketball media, recently addressed this exact situation, and his comments have sparked intense debate throughout Lakers Nation. Smith acknowledged that LeBron, even at 41 and dealing with physical issues, can still come back and average above 20 points per game. That's a testament to LeBron's incredible longevity, his dedication to maintaining his body, and his basketball IQ that allows him to remain effective even as his athleticism naturally declines. But Smith also said something that's harder for fans to hear. If the Lakers had a choice, they would trade LeBron James. Now, before you react emotionally to that statement, let me explain the reasoning behind it, because it's not about disrespecting LeBron or diminishing his contributions. It's about age, it's about timeline, and it's about maximizing the championship window we have with Luka Doncic. Smith pointed out that Luka is 26 years old, right in the sweet spot where elite players are entering their absolute prime. He's got another decade of elite basketball ahead of him if he stays healthy. The Lakers want to build around that timeline, want to surround Luka with young athletic players who can grow with him, who can develop chemistry over multiple seasons, and who can form the core of a dynasty rather than a short-term contender. LeBron James, as great as he still is, represents a different timeline. He's on his way out, whether that's next year or the year after. He's going to continue missing games for load management as his body requires more rest to function at a high level. He's going to be less available for the grind of an 82-game season and the physical toll of a deep playoff run. And from an organizational standpoint, having a 41-year-old as a significant part of your rotation doesn't align with building around a 26-year-old superstar who needs the ball in his hands to maximize his impact. This isn't a criticism of LeBron's game. Smith was very clear about that, and I want to be clear about it too. This is purely about age and organizational direction. If LeBron were 31 instead of 41, this wouldn't even be a conversation. But the reality is that Father Time is undefeated, and even the greatest players eventually have to transition to different roles or different situations that better fit their current stage of career. The Lakers' record of 15-4 speaks to the fact that this roster construction is working. We're winning games, we're playing exciting basketball, and we're doing it with Luka Doncic as the clear number one option. LeBron has sat out multiple games already this season for load management, specifically to rest his left leg that's been bothering him with sciatica issues. And here's the telling part. When LeBron sits, we've continued to win games and sometimes look even more fluid offensively. That's not a knock on LeBron. It's just an acknowledgement that this team has found an identity that functions effectively without needing him to be the primary creator and decision-maker. Looking ahead through the rest of the season, LeBron is expected to sit out many more games. That's the reality of managing a 41-year-old body through the rigors of an NBA season. The organization wants to keep him as fresh as possible for the playoffs, assuming we make a deep run. But it also means that the regular season rotation is increasingly built around players other than LeBron. Luka Doncic is the face of the franchise now. That's not speculation or opinion. That's objective fact, based on how the team is constructed, how minutes are distributed, and how the offense is designed. So what does this mean for LeBron's future with the Lakers? There are really only a few possible scenarios, and I want to walk through each of them so you understand the full range of possibilities. The first scenario is that LeBron finishes this season with the Lakers, continues in a reduced role next season if he decides to play another year, and eventually retires as a Laker. This would be the sentimental choice, the one that honors his contributions to the franchise and allows him to end his career in purple and gold. It's a perfectly reasonable outcome that many fans would support. The second scenario is that the Lakers explore trade possibilities for LeBron, either before this season's trade deadline or during the offseason. This would be the pragmatic business decision, allowing the organization to potentially acquire assets that better fit the timeline with Luka Doncic, while giving LeBron a chance to compete for another championship with a team that's built around veterans rather than developing young talent. It's a harder pill to swallow emotionally, but it might be the best move for both parties. The third scenario is that LeBron decides to retire after this season, recognizing that his body can't hold up to the demands of NBA basketball anymore, and choosing to walk away on his own terms. This would be the most dignified exit, allowing him to avoid the awkwardness of being traded or becoming a marginal role player in the twilight of his career. Regardless of which scenario plays out, one thing is absolutely certain. Luka Doncic is the present and future of Lakers basketball. Whether LeBron goes to another team soon or retires here doesn't change that reality one bit. The franchise has made its choice about who to build around, and that choice is the 26-year-old MVP candidate who can lead us to championships for the next decade. Now, I want to address something important because I know some of you are feeling conflicted about this whole situation. It's okay to have mixed emotions about the potential end of LeBron's Lakers tenure. You can simultaneously appreciate everything he's done for this franchise while also recognizing that it's time to transition to the next era. Those feelings aren't contradictory, they're human. LeBron brought us a championship, he brought excitement back to Lakers basketball, and he's been a consummate professional throughout his time here. But the NBA is a business, and organizations have to make decisions based on what gives them the best chance to win championships moving forward. I'm actually incredibly optimistic about where this franchise is headed. We have Luka Doncic in his prime, we have Austin Reeves emerging as a legitimate star, we have a supporting cast that's playing with confidence and cohesion, and we have a coaching staff that's getting the most out of this roster. Our 15-4 record isn't a fluke, it's a reflection of genuine quality and championship potential. If we can stay healthy, continue developing chemistry, and make smart moves to add depth where needed, we're going to be a problem for everyone in the Western Conference come playoff time. The transition from the LeBron era to the Luka era doesn't have to be painful or dramatic. It can be a natural evolution that honors the past while embracing the future. LeBron's legacy with the Lakers is secure regardless of how his tenure ends. He'll always be remembered as the player who brought championship number 17 to Los Angeles, who played at an elite level well into his 40s, and who represented the franchise with class and professionalism. But now it's Luka's time to write his own chapter in Lakers history, and I, for one, am excited to see what he can accomplish. Now I want to hear from you, Lakers Nation. How do you feel about LeBron no longer being the focal point of this team? Do you think the Lakers should explore trading him to maximize assets, or should they let him finish his career in purple and gold, regardless of his role? Are you excited about the Luka Doncic era, or are you still processing the end of the LeBron era? And what moves do you think we should make to support Luka and continue building toward championships? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I genuinely want to know how you're feeling about this transition and what you think the future holds for our franchise. In conclusion, we're witnessing a historic transition in Lakers basketball, the changing of the guard from one generational talent to another. LeBron James will always have his place in Lakers lore, but Luka Doncic is the future, and that future looks incredibly bright. Our 15-4 record proves we're on the right track, and with continued development and smart organizational decisions, we're positioned to compete for championships for years to come. I'm optimistic, I'm excited, and I'm ready to embrace this next era of Lakers basketball. If you want to stay locked in on all the latest Lakers news, roster updates, trade discussions, and in-depth analysis, make sure you're subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and smash that like button if this breakdown gave you valuable insights into where our franchise is headed. We're here every single day bringing you the content you need to stay informed and engaged with everything happening in Lakerland. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's go Lakers!